Hey everybody, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and to start this off, today was my birthday, or well, is my birthday. It's still January 18th, and what I thought I'd do is a book haul, and it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be like a 3-parter book haul, maybe a 2-parter, depending on how many books I have in boxes still, which are, it's gonna be, I think it's gonna be a 3-parter because I have a ton. I'm staring at like a laundry basket full of bags and boxes, and then there's on the floor, I don't know if you can. Well, no, I guess I can't get the camera to angle. Oh, let's not go there. My bed's a mess, so let's not do that. Yeah, there's on the floor over here. I'm gonna film my video in just a second, at least the first parter. There is quite a few books on the ground, and I might add to the books for the first video. Anyway, shall we begin? Alright, without further ado, roll the intro. Hey, what is up and welcome to my channel. It's a Hardback Life. My name is Jordan, and today we're going to be doing my birthday book haul. That is right, ladies and gentlemen. For those of you who didn't know, my birthday was on Wednesday, and I had a blast. First of all, I had the day off on my birthday. Who doesn't love that? So yeah, I luckily had my birthday off. I didn't even have to request it off because I have a set schedule, and when I saw that my birthday fell on a Wednesday, I was like, yay, I don't even have to request that off because that is my day off, or one of my days off. Anyway, so yeah, it was great. I got to sleep in, and then excuse me, then I just hung out at the house with my dogs for a little bit, and excuse me again. And then I went for coffee, and then I got some food. I got free coffee, so that was awesome. And yeah, it was a good time. I enjoyed my birthday. And then my aunt and my brother and his wife and my cousin took me out to dinner. It was fun. And next week we're going to be doing another celebratory birthday dinner thing because my parents, unfortunately, were out of town because their anniversary is 3 days before my birthday, and so they went out of town. They went to St. Kitts. I don't even know exactly where that's at. I know it's an island. I think it's off of the Bahamas, maybe. But yeah, they went to St. Kitts along with 2 other couples who had their anniversaries around the same time. And so they just went on a couple's anniversary trip. And this is a big one for them, by the way. 40 years. 40 years my parents have been together. And at least married. They've been together a lot longer than that. But yeah. Oh my gosh. I'm so proud of them, and like I said, I've really enjoyed this week being my birth week. So yeah, before we get into my birthday book haul, I just want to share with you a big accomplishment, for me at least, that has happened this week, and that involves reading. And I read this, you guys, A Court of Silver Flames. I finally finished this book. Oh my god. And 5 stars, not a surprise. I'm a huge Sarah J. Maas fan. And I will do a dedicated spoiler-free and spoiler-filled review for this book. So look out for that. It's probably not going to be coming till probably end of January or beginning of February. I don't know, maybe I'll probably do it real quick because I don't want any of this to go out of my mind. It probably won't. No, I don't think it will. Because this book was, oh my god. I loved every minute of it, pretty much. There were some parts that irritated me a bit, but I will share those with you. Like I said, when I do the dedicated spoiler-free / spoiler-filled review. And yeah, but this is one of the books that I set out to accomplish this year, and I actually will do a video of books that I want to accomplish in 2023. And this is one of them. So, yeah. And I also need to, if you heard that was one of my book boxes that fell to the floor. So, it's okay. I also want to reread Chain of Gold. And then I need to read Chain of Iron. Because Chain of Thorns by Cassandra Clare comes out January 31st. I pre-ordered it. So it's going to be coming pretty quickly. And then Cassandra Clare is coming to Arizona as part of her book signing / book tour for Chain of Thorns. So yeah, I need to finish these 2 big chunkers before the beginning of February. Alright, you guys, without further ado, let's get into this book haul. Okay, so I'm not kidding you when I say I have a lot of books that I have to unbox and unbag, because I have a lot of books. And that's why I'm splitting it up into like a 2 or 3-parter, because yeah, I went out of control this last few months. These are purchases from, yeah, like I said, the last few months. So like probably October. I'm just going to look at the receipts and tell you when I bought these books. And you will be shocked. Okay. And this is specifically my Barnes & Noble book haul, birthday book haul. So, yeah. All right. Let's open the first bag, shall we? Let's go over here. Okay. Okay. What is in this bag? What is in this bag? Okay. Okay, it's one book. Oh! Okay. This is Charm. It's the 5th book in the Crave series by Tracy Wolff. And storyline, because, one, I've only read the first book. Yeah. The second book is technically on my books to read this month, but I don't think I'm going to get to it because I have a huge amount of books that I do want to read. But this is the 5th book in the Crave series. Crave, if you didn't know, is basically similar to Twilight in the fact that, you know, there's a human girl who falls in love with a vampire, but it's set in an academy, so there's a dark academia type of feel for it. And it's similar but very different. Basically, our main character, Grace, her parents die at the beginning of this. Well, they die before the book starts, technically, actually. And so she has to go live with her remaining family in Alaska, and her uncle, who is her who was her dad's brother, owns or like runs a school, a boarding school, have you. And he's, yeah, they have the headmaster. And when she gets to the school, all, like, a bunch of weird stuff starts to happen. Like, magical stuff. Or just things that she can't explain. That's all I'm going to say about it. The first book was really good. It was a little slow, but it was still very good. I enjoyed it enough to continue on with the series. Alright, this is Charm, the first book I opened for the book haul. Oh, and the rest of the series is behind me, so, yeah. Okay, the next one we're going to open up is this guy. Oh, and I bought Charm, I think, last month in December when it came out. Yeah. So I don't even need to look at the receipt for that. Sorry, guys, I had to take a bit of a break there. If you saw me get up, I had COVID back in December, like the week of Christmas specifically. And so I have this cough that is lingering, and I have some stuff stuck in my throat. So I had to, like, get up and take a breather, because, whew, it's been rough. Anyway, the next book or next two books, because there are two books in this bag, that I'm gonna, reveal to you. We don't even need to look at the receipt for this one, because I bought this on my birthday, and I cannot wait to read it, because, I don't know, I've been in a non-fiction kick lately. And that is Spare by Prince Harry. We all know Prince Harry. He's the youngest child of Princess Diana and I think King Charles? Or Prince Charles? Not King Charles. Prince Charles. Something like that. Yeah. So, and younger brother of Prince William. Yeah, I can't wait to read this because he has been through a lot in the last couple years or so. Obviously with his marriage and obviously the backlash from the rest of his family and stuff like that. So I can't wait to read this. Very excited because, yeah. This book, I forgot to mention, what got me into reading nonfiction is Michelle Williams' book, Checking In. For those of you who don't know who Michelle Williams is, not the actress Michelle Williams, the singer/actress Michelle Williams from Destiny's Child. She wrote a book called Checking In, and it's about mental health, and specifically her journey navigating through mental health issues, and how she's still battling it, but she's found ways to, combat it, or whatever. But yeah, that's what book got me into reading a lot of nonfiction, and I can't wait to read Spare by Prince Harry. And yeah. The next book I want to show you is Sky Hunter by Maurier. I don't know too much about this, so I'm going to go into it blind, because I love Maurier's books. I've read the first book in the Legend series, which I need to get my butt in gear and finish Legend. And then I've read her Warcross duology, which is a sci-fi about a virtual game. And I absolutely love that duology. It's one of my favorite duologies I've ever read. So, yeah. Looking forward to reading this duology. At least I think it's a duology. Called Sky Hunter. And then there's the second book called Steel Striker. I don't know if there's going to be a third book. As far as I know, it's just going to be a duology. Also, if you guys remember Dylan Minute from 13 Reasons Why, he played the main character. This is... I got this at Barnes & Noble as well. This is the second album of his band called Wallows. They are really good. They're like this alternative, I think with a dash of punk rock in them. They're really good. I really like them. They're called Wallows. Okay. This next book is the second book in a series, and I actually bought the whole series. I just bought the books at different times, obviously in order, but I'm not going to be showing you them in order because they're most of them are in bags or boxes, and I don't know which boxes or bags they are in. So I'm just going to be showing them to you out of order. And that first book I'm going to show you in the series is The Wall of Storms by Ken Liu. This is the second book in the Dandelion Dynasty Quartet. And I can't wait to read the series. This has been on my bucket list of book series to read since last year. I heard about it a lot at the beginning of 2022. And oh my gosh, it just sounds so good. So, as far as I know, well, this is the sequel, so I can't really tell you anything. All I know is it's a war-based novel. It's a fantasy, but it's war-based, and there is quite a bit of fantasy, but there's a lot of other things involved in this book too. I can't wait to read it. And again, this is book 2 of the Dandelion Dynasty by Ken Liu. I don't even know where I'm gonna have to move a lot of my books around after I'm done with this. Let's open a box, shall we? And the first box we're gonna open, it's a little dented, I apologize. It is one of my Book of the Month boxes. I don't even know what month this is from. I think it's from, shall I say, October or November? Let's find out. Oh. Okay. Ooh. Ooh. This is Someday Maybe. Okay, this is November. This is my November box. And this was a book that I read the synopsis on Book of the Month, and it was an instant buy for me. This, and I love how it's split into numbers. Here are the 3 things you should know about my husband. He was the great love of my life, despite his penchant for going incommunicado. 2, he was, as far as I and everyone else could tell, perfectly happy, which is significant because 3, on New Year's Eve, he killed himself. And here is one thing you should know about me. 1. I found him. Bonus fact. No, I am not okay. Someday Maybe is a stunning and witty debut novel about a young woman's emotional journey through unimaginable loss, pulled along by her tight-knit Nigerian family, a posse of new friends, and the love and laughter she shared with her husband. So, God, I bet this book is going to be such an emotional ride. I can already tell. Because obviously this is another book that deals with the trauma of loss and grief, and the fact that she also found her husband dead. That's I can't wait to read this. I'm probably going to save this for Blackathon next month. Yeah, probably. Yeah. I'm excited. Ooh, this one's a bigger one. Okay. I'm going to need some scissors, y'all, because this is a big box, and plus, cutting it open is going to be a lot harder than I thought. Okay, Jordan, do not tear the books. Okay. Okay, I think I'm good. Woo! Ooh. What month is this? I think this might be December. My December box. Yes, it is. This is Babel by R.F. Kuang. I have not read The Poppy War, which I have sitting on another bookshelf. But this one is about how history of words and stuff like that plays a part in it, and that's the words are where the fantasy comes into play, I guess. I don't know too much about this. I've heard so much about it, though, by several people, like Jess Owens and several people. I can't wait to read it. I'm a little nervous, though, because I really don't want to dislike this book. Anyway, this is Babel by R.F. Kuang. That's the first book in my Book of the Month box for December. It's amazing how I'm actually opening my Book of the Month boxes in order, because I opened November 1st. Ooh, the second book and final book in the River Enchanted series, I think is what it's called. This is called A Fire Endless by Rebecca Roth. I also cannot tell you, because this is the sequel. The first book is actually on my TBR. It's somewhere around here. Probably on my bed, which is, over there. But yeah, it's the sequel to A River Enchanted by Rebecca Ross, which A River Enchanted came out in 2021. And I never read it, even though I bought it from Book of the Month. But here is the sequel, which came out last month. Okay, and the last one. Ooh, this last one. Sorry. This last one was the book of the year for Book of the Month. And that is Tomorrow, Tomorrow, Tomorrow. And let me just read you a little bit of the synopsis. On a bitter cold day in the December of his junior year at Harvard, Sam Maurier exits a subway car and sees amid the hordes of people waiting on the platform Sadie Green. He calls her name. For a moment, she pretends she hasn't heard him, but then she turns and a game begins. A legendary collaboration that will launch them to stardom. These friends, intimates since childhood, borrow money, beg favors, and before even graduating college, they have created their first blockbuster, Ichigo. Overnight, the world is theirs. Not even 25 years old, Sam and Sadie are brilliant, successful, and rich, but these qualities won't protect them from their own creative ambitions or the betrayals of their hearts. That's all I'm going to read for that, but I know this is um, I don't know what you would call it. I think this is a virtual type sci-fi or something. I don't know. But I just know it's on a lot of people's favorite book of the year list. So I can't wait to read this. And ooh, this one's a special copy because there's the book of the year. And yeah, it's a book of the month copy. So I'm proud to own it. Alright, and then let's open the last book of the month box. That is January. And I get an extra add-on for this one because my birth month. Man, this is heavy. Where's the opening? Oh. Is it wrapped around? Yeah, it's wrapped around this time. I think because it was my birthday, so they probably wanted to wrap it around like it was a birthday present to me. Ooh. I've never had to open this book box like this before, so this is different. This is the January book. I think this was my book of the month that I chose. It's called Wilderness of Stars. No, this was my book of the month I chose. Okay. So this one, specifically, this is Hellbent by Leigh Bardugo. This is the second book in the Alex Stearns series. The first book was called Ninth House. I like this cover better than the original cover, which the original cover is red. But basically, in Ninth House, our main character, Alex, is forced to be a part of this, basically, kind of like a cult. And I don't know too much about it. I'm still reading it. So it's still, like, I'm still discovering stuff. But, like, our main character, is going to Yale and she's having to participate in this occult. And she's noticing that they're doing stuff that should not be doing, like experimenting on live bodies or something like that. I don't know. It's been a while since I touched the first book. And like I said, I haven't even finished it. So, yeah. But the first book is called Ninth House by Leigh Bardugo. And I've only about 4 chapters in. So I need to finish that so that I can get to this. And yeah, I definitely like the gray better than the red. Alright, and the last book that I got on my for the January box was Age of Vice by Deepit Kapoor. Deepit Kapoor, there we go, I think is how you say his name. Okay. Yeah, this is Age of Vice by Deepit Kapoor. And, ooh, yeah, this is an Indian-inspired, I think this is an Indian-inspired fantasy. No, it's a Indian-inspired contemporary. Okay, it's a contemporary. But I'm looking forward to this, you guys. This is a book that is like all over right now. So I'm looking forward to reading it. This are part of a trilogy. And this is the Rosewater Trilogy by Tade Thompson. This is book 1, called Rosewater. And then book 2 is called the Rosewater Insurrection. And basically what it says here, Rosewater is a town on the edge, a community formed around the edges of a mysterious biodome. Its residents comprise the hopeful, the hungry, and the helpless. People eager for a glimpse inside the dome or a taste of its rumored healing powers. Caro is a government agent with a criminal past. A sensitive, he can navigate the massive psychic space created by the dome. But when something within the dome begins killing off other sensitives, Caro must defy his masters to avert a horrifying future. So this is obviously a sci-fi, and it's written by Tade Thompson, is an African-American male. And so I'm definitely going to read this for Blackathon. That's what I plan on being part of, because I always do that every year. This is the 3rd year I'll be participating in Blackathon. I can't wait to see the announcement for it. Yeah. This is the Rosewater, first 2 books in the Rosewater Trilogy. No, the Wormwood Trilogy. I'm sorry, the Wormwood Trilogy by Tade Thompson. This next one is the Fireborn Trilogy, which consists of Fireborn, Flamefall, and Fury Song. This is about 2 people who are dragon riders, or wannabe dragon riders, and along the way they might lose themselves, and that also means that they might also betray each other, or there will be some betrayal. That's all I've heard of. Today, Annie and Leigh were only children when revolution changed their world, giving everyone a chance to test into the governing class of dragon riders. Now they are both rising stars in the new regime, even though Annie's lowborn family was executed by dragonfire, while Leigh was born to the very aristocrats who used to rule the city. A childhood at the same orphanage forged their friendship, and 7 years of training have made them rivals for the top position in the dragon riding fleet. But everything changes when survivors from the old regime surface, bent on reclaiming their city. With war on the horizon, Leigh must choose to kill the only family he has left, or to betray everything he's come to believe in. and Annie must decide whether to protect her dearest friend or step up to be the champion her city needs. That's all I'm going to read about that. That was long, I'm sorry. But, that's going to be some craziness. And this is a trilogy that was on my bucket list. So, thanks to Jessie May for recommending this series. I can't wait to dig into it. It's the Fireborn Trilogy, I believe it's called. Ooh! Okay. There's just one huge book in this one. And that, my friends, is the fourth and final book in the Dandelion Dynasty called Speaking Bones. And oh my gosh, this looks like a huge chunker. But okay, I'm going to rise up to the challenge. Yeah, you can see my nervous face right now. Like, I've decided to read a lot more challenging books this year. Books over 500 to 600 pages and more. So, next book is a book that I read last year, and it was one of my favorite books that I read in 2022. It's called My Lovely Wife by Samantha Downing, and it's about a couple who basically are serial killers. And it's really weird. One moment you think they're just a normal family because they are married and they have 2 children, and then the next thing you know, they're talking about their next victim. So it's like insane. And in this book, the murders that they've already done or committed come back to bite them because the police keep finding these women one after the other. And so they have to make sure they covered their tracks. And so, yeah, it's insane, and it is a crazy ride. I absolutely love this book. I recommend it 100 freaking %, because the twist at the end, I didn't even see coming, and it just rocked me to the core. And, yeah, my friend let me borrow her book. And then I loved it so much that I had to go buy my own copy, and I'm pretty sure I will probably reread it this year because I loved it that much. Okay, the next book I'm going to talk about is A Little Hatred by Joe Abercrombie. It is the first book in the Age of Madness, which I think follows a character from the First Law trilogy. I'm in the middle of starting that. Well, I just read the prologue. That was it. And then I read another book. So that was my fault. But I do plan on continuing to read the First Law trilogy and actually finishing it this time. And yeah, so here's hoping that I do read that. And then if I like it so much, I'm going to read this and then the other 2 books that are within the series. Ooh, okay. So we have one book that I've been anticipating since I found out that it was coming out last year, and that is 9 Liars by Maureen Johnson. This is the continuation in the Truly Devious world, where our main character, Stevie Bell, basically gets invited to this school called Ellingham Academy because of her strong interest in crime. And basically Ellingham Academy only takes the best and the brightest students. So if you are like have accomplished something or are very passionate about what you do or your research, and they basically find Stevie Bell and offer her a chance to come to Ellingham Academy and solve an 80-year-old murder. And when she does go there, she does not only solve it, but there's also something else that is lurking and going on and within the school, and she has to stop that from happening at the same time. The first 3 books were Truly Devious, The Vanishing Stare, and The Hand on the Wall. And then a book, which was a standalone, called The Box in the Woods, is set in between, is set just after their freshman year, or Stevie Bell's freshman year. And then this book, Nine Liars, is set, I think, in between, actually in their senior year, I think. And let me tell you the premise. 7 suspects, 2 murders, 1 killer, still playing a deadly game. Senior year at Ellingham Academy isn't going well for Stevie Bell. Her boyfriend, David, is studying in London. Her friends are obsessed with college applications. With the cold case of the century solved, Stevie is adrift. There is nothing to distract her from the questions pinging around her brain. Questions about college, love, and life in general. Relief comes when David invites Stevie and her friends to join him for study abroad. And his new friend, Izzy, introduces Stevie to a double murder cold case. In 1995, 9 friends from Cambridge University went to a country house and played a drunken game of hide and seek. 2 were found in the woodshed the next day, murdered with an axe. The case was assumed to be a burglary gone wrong, but one of the remaining 7 saw something she can't explain. That's all I'm going to say about that. I cannot wait to read this book. As soon as I found out, like I said, this was an instant buy. Because, oh my god, I cannot wait to read it. Because I love the Truly Devious series. And this is Ember of the Night, the first book in a trilogy by Molly E. Leigh. The second book is Shadow of Light, and the third book is Spark of Ash. And this is about a girl who basically has a power that is unknown. Like, she knows of her power, she's a warlock, but she doesn't know the full extent of her power until it's awakened. And she basically has to decide whether she's going to save the world or bring about the destruction of the world. So, okay, we have a few more bags, so hang there with me. Ooh. Okay, this is the sequel to Legend Born, you guys, called Blood Marked. This is about a girl who attends her mother's university, so she's a legacy, and she finds out there's more at play when she comes to the school, like an unlocked power that is obviously hidden, comes out of nowhere, and she finds out more about her mother's past, including how her mother died, I believe. So I'm looking forward to reading Legendborn, which is behind me, and then Bloodmarked. I am very excited to read this one. And then I think the third and final book comes out this year. Okay, we're going to open one more bag. And then I'm going to call this video quits because it's gone on for a while. And I'm going to save the rest for a save more of these bags for a part 2. But I'm just so glad that I finally opened a lot of these bags and boxes, because holy crap, I let them pile up. Okay, this last bag is... Ooh. We've got one romance and one fantasy. So we got Robin Hobb, Royal Assassin. This is the sequel to Assassin's Apprentice, which is the second book in the Fireborn Trilogy, where it follows Fitz, our main character Fitz, and it says, Fitz has survived his first hazardous mission as King's assassin, but is left little more than a cripple. Battered and bitter, he vows to abandon his oath to King Shrewd and to remain in the distant mountains. But love and events of terrible urgency draw him back to the court at Buckkeep and into the deadly intrigues of the royal family. That's all I'm going to read from that, because I don't want to spoil myself. I've heard a lot of great things about Robin Hobb's writing. I know I've heard she's a character-driven reader, which is right up my alley, because I love character-driven books. But I have realized that I also need plot very badly. Because if there is only the characters driving the story, I don't know. I mean, I feel like they can do that, because I've read books where character-driven novels are fantastic, but sometimes they could get boring, and without the plot to drive it, you know what I mean? That's all I'm saying. It's like, I love character-driven novels, but I realize I also really do desire a plot to be part of the story. And then the next book is Beach Read by Emily Henry. I've gotten into reading some romance last year. I've only read romance really if it was in like a subplot in a fantasy. So like not the major thing. This is, Beach Read. This is about two people who meet each other, two authors. I think they actually already know each other. And they're both authors. And they decide to switch genres and write within each other's genres. And that brings them closer somehow. That's all I know. I also have Book Lovers by Emily Henry, so I do want to read that. I can't believe I haven't read it. Alright, and I also have Alicia Keys, one of her latest albums on, like, right here. So, I'm a huge Alicia Keys fan. I feel like opening one more bag. Okay, one more bag. Last one, guys. At least for today. It's got 2 books in it. Actually, 3. 3, okay. Ooh. Rebecca by Daphne du Maurier. This is a classic novel. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I'm going to go into it blind. Well, I do know quite a bit, but honestly, a lot of you know so much about Rebecca that it's kind of self-explanatory. I'll probably talk about it once I read it. Ooh, okay, this is the sequel The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. I have not read the first book. I haven't read a single N.K. Jemisin book, and that's shame on me. But I'm gonna change that. I don't know. I've been reaching for the fifth. What's it called? The fifth season. I have it. Not the whole trilogy, but the first book. And for some reason, I just have little desire to pick it up. But I definitely want to read these. Alright, and the last book that we're going to discover, at least for this first part of book haul, is Mexican Gothic. I've heard so much about this book, good and bad. Like, I've had seen a lot of mixed reviews. This is by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. Why did I say Grace? Sylvia Moreno Garcia, who is a popular author, and this book is described as a classic Gothic horror novel, a story about an isolated mansion in 1950s Mexico and the brave socialite drawn to its treacherous secrets. After receiving a frantic letter from her newlywed cousin, Noemi Taboda heads to High Place, a distant house in the Mexican countryside. Noemi is an unlikely rescuer. She's a glamorous debutante, more suited for cocktail parties than amateur sleuthing. But she's also tough, smart, and not afraid. Not of her cousin's new English husband, a stranger who is both menacing and alluring. Not of his father, the ancient patriarch who seems fascinated by Noemi, and not even of the house itself, which begins to invade Noemi's dreams with visions of blood and doom. Noemi's only ally in this inhospitable place is the family's youngest son, but he too may be hiding a dark secret. As Noemi begins to unearth stories of violence and madness, she is slowly drawn into a terrifying yet seductive world, a world that may be impossible to escape. Oh my god. Okay, that just sounds epic, and I cannot wait to read it. So, yeah, it's going to be read probably within the next month or two. I can't wait. So, that was my first batch of books for the book haul. I'm going to edit this video tomorrow and then probably post it. And then my second book haul video for my birthday book haul probably will be edited or filmed and then edited and posted a day or two later. Anyway, you guys, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up, like, and subscribe. That would mean so much to me. And be looking forward to part 2 of my birthday book haul. I am excited to share more books with you, and there might be a part 3 depending on the amount of books that I have. So stay tuned for that, because I don't even know. I have to look at how many more books that I have to share with you. Alright. See you later. Bye.